Present a balanced position. Capital FM, the talk leader.
Please be advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Capital FM. Pleasant listening.
You are now tuned in to The Big Issue, the program that gets under the skin of the story. Here now is your presenter.
Good morning and welcome to The Big Issue right here on Capital FM 99.7. Today we're thrilled to welcome Honorable Given Katuta the trailblazing MP, independent member of parliament for Chiengi constituency. But before we proceed with the conversation, I'd like to apologize for starting the program late. We had issues that were beyond our control. A little bit of context about the candidate, the speaker that we have today. She first made waves in 2016, winning on the FDD ticket by toppling the Patriotic Front incumbent, then stormed back into parliament in 2021 as Zambia's only female independent MP. A dedicated business broker with a BBA in marketing and 2 honorary doctorates, one in public administration and the other in political science. She served on vital committees in Parliament, such as the Cabinet Affairs and Transport and Communications Committees, as well as the Legislation and International Agreements, among many others. Just last October 2025, she launched her daring independent bid for the August 2026 presidency amid Zambia's economic headwinds. Honorable Given Katuta, thank you for joining us to unpack national matters and the road to 2026 elections, your journey, your take on the government, and your vision for the future. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mwiko, and thank you, dear listeners.
All right. To participate, our show is going to be open for public engagement. So you can call us on 0761-997-997 and 077-379-2475 for your comments and questions. Follow us on Facebook at Capital FM 997, Smart Eagles, and Citizens TV Zambia, Kumwesu, and Spectrum Media Zambia. I will announce that later as well. But in order to start the show, I'd like to see, I know she's very wise already. I just want to test her levels now. You know, as she's maturing into a fine presidential hopeful. We want to see what else she knows about Zambia. So, Honorable Katuta, before we dive into the big issue, let me ask you, you've broken barriers as Chiengi's first female MP and now eyeing State House as an independent presidential candidate. If you could sum up your political journey in one Zambian proverb or saying that captures your fighting spirit, what would it be?
I would say it in vernacular.
Yes, please. Okay. I'm sure I'll understand that later. What does that mean? What does that translate into?
A unique tree that has found itself among its strong trees, just in the midst of where it's not supposed to be, where it's least expected to be.
Okay.
But it just found itself among the strong trees.
Fantastic.
And is counted.
Fantastic. Would it also align to Uamupampamina?
Mupamapamo. Atulengoma. Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's start with your political journey. Your maiden speech back in 2016, you said you'd want to put Chiengi's roads and education front and center. Then came your independent re-election in 2021 while leading the constitutional and judicial committees, among the other ones that I spoke about. Can you walk us through your political story, the highs and the lows, especially in that male-dominated world of parliament?
Thank you so much. In the first place, I would like to say that I decided to take this route of participating in politics when I realized that there are certain individuals who needed to be heard, and the only way they could be heard needed a strong voice. people of Chiengi, of course. And as you've mentioned, the thing that took me to Parliament, it was the issue of the road. Ever since I've been a child, we've had that kind of a road. By the time of UNIP used to grade the road for us, and MMD tried, and then they abandoned the grading because they thought they would put up a tarred road. Now, what happened was that after the MMD, I don't know what happened because then I was not in the country. When I came back in 2012, I realized that our place is still the same place I left when I was a young lady. What I want to say is that I've realized that in Zambia and in Africa, when I say we, I'm referring to us women, we've been taken we've been given a certain position when it comes to politics, that you cannot do this. You're only good maybe to deputize. You're only good maybe to chair us men. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say just to be 50-50. But I think it's about time that we women are given a chance. If we can be given a chance to be in front, we can prove, after watching the 61 years of our independence, I realized that there hasn't been much of improvement despite having all the wealth that we have, despite the One Zambia, One Nation that was given to us by our founding fathers of this nation. I realized that I think in order for us to get back to the true meaning of One Zambia, One Nation, we needed a motherly care and love. And also to show that African women are ready to take up such offices. So I've been looking at this, I think, from the time I came for my young brother's funeral in 2012. Then I thought maybe I could try and start from there. Maybe bring up some development in our constituents, that's Chiengi, and especially the issue of the road in schools. I must say, when I got to Parliament, I realized that it's not what I expected, where I thought governments would respect democracy and the rights of people who send their representatives to the House. I found out that when a ruling party would want those who are not in their party to be like some sort of beggars or some sort of bootlickers, so that they can also be given the desired development in their areas. So I decided to be unique and to prove to the nation and to the whole world that you can still get development despite not being part and parcel of the ruling party. As long as you're a member of parliament, definitely you are part of the government. So it has been my heart desire also to see to it that us Africans and us Zambians in particular, we've lost our dignity. It's like we're still in the colonial days. We were colonized. Our minds were colonized through education. Our minds were colonized that we needed to salute a certain group of individuals. So I started telling myself, I think we need to change. And I started looking at the whole thing, and then I realized the reason why we are not progressing as expected is because of the kind of education which has been given to us. So the first thing is that we need to change our education system. If we change our education system, then we can talk about development. No one will come to the negotiating table, the so-called investor, with their own terms. They will do things according to our terms and according to what we'd like to see happening in our country. And after doing a little bit of research, I discovered that we don't have millionaires who are indigenous. When I say indigenous millionaires, I'm not being a racist, but I'm talking of Zambians. We only have, I think, maybe 3 who we can say they are millionaires. So then I've been thinking, but despite having all the wealth that we have, what is happening? Then I realized that we've had the education where we are told, you get educated, go and look for a job.
Yeah.
Not get educated, go and employ yourself and others.
All right. It's very interesting that you talked about how people change their posture when they get into government. So do you believe that they use the people to get into parliament, and once they get into parliament, from what you realize when you got into parliament, that things are different from how you see it when you're outside?
Yeah.
So did you realize at that point that they use the people to get into parliament, and then thereafter they run their own private race?
Yes. It's a reason, Mwiko, I've been saying those who are given the mandate to take care of people's interests or affairs, they are supposed to be owned by people, not by their interests. You see, what happens is that when we get to parliament, you are pumped, knowing that you've been sent by the real people. When I say real people, because it's the Zambians who are interested to see that they are governed. But when you get there, you realize that those who are coming from ruling party or opposition, it's about their leaders and their political parties. No matter how you try to push. And that has made me to be maybe the so-called controversial a member of parliament, because you want to speak the mind of people, but then they believe you should speak the mind of a bootlicker, or you should compromise. But I thought we came to parliament to take care of the laws that will empower our people. And in all honesty, what we are missing is that the reason why MPs go there is to make laws which will give power to the people, not to the executive.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. As you said in your October 2025 presidential declaration, and I quote, as MP for Chiengi, I have fought for women, children, and forgotten rural communities. I have exposed injustice and spoken the truth without fear. I did not cross the floor. I stood on principle. Now, being Chiengi's first female member of parliament and the lone independent woman in this last term that we're ending soon, how did you handle parliament's gender battles, and where do you see Zambia on women's political inclusion?
I must say this. When I got to parliament, I found that there was a caucus for women parliamentarians. Yeah, and I was very excited. In the time of PF, Honorable Kandu was the chairperson. But I didn't really understand what that caucus was all about. I only knew that it was for women, female parliamentarians.
Yes.
And we were told it was a way of knowing each other and helping female parliamentarians so that we can be helped as women to get back to parliament, since we don't have numbers of women in parliament. But when you look at the whole caucus thing, it's all political. It's like an extension of an ideology from any ruling party. And that made me to be, to get so discouraged.
Okay.
Just like what you've read, I hate injustice. And when I say I hate injustice, I don't miss my word and I don't choose my lips. It's something that comes from my belly. So when I realized that it's all about some people to make names for themselves and to go and sit with these NGOs, where you sit, you go to, is it Sierra?
Sierra, yes.
You go to these exotic places, have fun, and you say you are developing something for women. Which women? Because the woman that we're talking about is a marketeer. The woman that we're talking about is that woman who is in the village. The woman that we're talking about is the woman who is selling on the roadside. The woman that I'm talking about is the woman who has been oppressed. Now, instead of this caucus coming up with strong policies that can even push the government or the executive to come up with laws that will empower women more, not empowering using 1,000 kwacha. We're talking about empowering women, to have the freedom where they can exercise their constitutional rights and becoming national leaders. But I realized that caucus is about the members of parliament and how they should come back, but not how they can extend that to outside women who are not yet in parliament. And those women who are also vulnerable. When I say vulnerable, there are those who are leaders, they're born leaders, but they're not educated. How can we bring them on board also to be part of lawmakers?
Okay.
And so I realized that some of these things, like the caucus I've talked about, I'm trying to restrain myself to use some words.
No, fire away, please. We're being honest with the people. The people of Chiengi are listening.
Yeah. So when I look at the women in particular, I feel there's been so much of oppression, spiritually, economically, and politically. In Chiengi, I realized that women there are encouraged to form cooperatives.
Yeah.
And in the same cooperatives, there are men who are in there. So it's not, it doesn't really make sense. And the monies that they're given is a reason why they end up sharing. What we're supposed to do, when we talk about that ministry of gender, we say we should not call it gender, because even the male is a gender. We should just call it women's ministry.
Particularly, yeah?
Yes, so that we start, teaching women financial literacy. Okay. Because you keep on empowering them financially, but they do not know, they don't have the know-how of keeping their money or how they can improve their businesses. So we need to get back to what we had in the olden days. Remember, there used to be the welfares. We used to call all affairs center.
Yes.
Yeah, but those are welfare centers.
Yes.
So we need to have those back in the community. We have a lot of women who are just doing nothing in Mtendere, in Kalingalinga. Put up a center, and it should be a deliberate policy by the government. Like the way it was in the colonial days, where parents were literally forced to take their children to school. My dad used to tell me that. And it has to be also a deliberate policy that no woman should be home doing nothing. There are centers, those centers I've seen like in Kalingalinga. You put up a structure where women at least will learn how to bake, how to do this needlework, I call it needlework.
Yes.
And then from there, you're also teaching them about leadership. So when you talk about, you also talked about education. This is also part of education.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about I don't know, did you speak? You also spoke about the youths or the schools?
Yes, because you were saying you have fought for women, children, and the youth. And you've not forgotten, and also the forgotten rural communities.
Yes.
Yes. So the question was, when you, where do you see Zambia on women's political inclusion?
Yeah, this is what I was just explaining. We start the problem which is there is that we just, when it's time for elections like this, then we go to women. There should be a deliberate policy by the government, or it should be in fact a law, that each political party should have a section of education where it's to be educating even the youths and the women about politics. Do you know why now we feel politics is a time for harvest? It's because we've missed it. If you look at the structure of ANC, their political party ideologies and the way they educate their women, they have women's league.
The women's league, yes.
Their women are not just vuvuzelas. They don't just go on social media to insult the opponents. No, I haven't seen that in developed countries. Women understand their position and that they're not there just to be used. They deserve to be in certain positions within the ranks of their political party, and they're women who deserve respect, so that they can also rise to to those high positions. So there should be a law that every political party, we've got 73 political parties, when they take that constitution to the registrar, there should be that component that their party will be training women and the youth, because these are the most abused by politicians. Time of, for them to get to parliament or to plot one. There should be an education section where they'll be teaching their women and the young people what is what are politics and what do they expect. Will they go in politics even for the uneducated? Are they going to go in politics because they'll be asking for arms? Where they'll be begging? No. Is it for a t-shirt or chitenge or a 10 kwacha or whatever, or millimil? No. Where people will be educated. When these women and the young people are educated politically, they'll go to the society or the communities and they will tell people, actually, you don't have to, even if somebody brings that bag of millimil, tell them it's just a gift. That should not be a tool for you to vote. If you want, you cannot even go and vote. So those will be the ambassadors of educating the communities. The women have got influence in their homes, and the young people also have influence in the communities.
Yes.
So we can take advantage of that to educate our nation that you cannot be used by anyone in order for them to be used like staircases to get to wherever they want to.
Okay.
So when I talk about education, I'll give you an example. When I went to Chiengi, I discovered that this I always talk about it. I discovered that then in 2016, that there were some young people who used to sell their grade 12 results, and Chiengi's got brilliant young people. That made me to break down, and also I got so angry. And I said, never again will this happen, even after I leave Chiengi. Do you know that my husband and I, we've helped young people, I think close to between 500 and 600. They are teachers, secondary school teachers, clinical medical officers, nurses, and others. They've done public health. These are young people who came from Chiengi. And on top of that, others we facilitated for their for their what do you call that? Not a bursary, where you give, not a bursary. What do you call that for a person who is scholarships? Yes, scholarships. There's one young man, we fought so hard, my husband and I, to get him a scholarship at Cavendish. And that boy has graduated all the way from Chiengi. If he's listening, all the way from Chiengi, it was his first time ever to leave Chiengi. And he's now a big guy. A small body, but a big guy. And he graduated as the best student in, is it finance, banking and finance, whatever.
Yes.
But, I'm a proud person, because if today I want to go and stand in Cheng, these are the young ones who go back to go in campaign, and they tell people their testimony. Yeah.
Fantastic. Out of the committees that you've served, I'd like you to tell me which ones of them really moved the needle on national policy and how.
I beg your pardon?
The committees which you served on, I'd like to know which one really had an impact on national policy and how that happened.
Cabinet Affairs.
Okay.
And I've done Cabinet Affairs and Transport and Communication. With Transport and Communication, I'll start with Transport and Communications. When I sat on that committee, we went to Tanzania just for benchmarking. And then I discovered that those buses which misbehave when they come into our country, they are treated accordingly. The traffic laws are very strict. And those trucks which misbehave on our roads, we found that it's totally different. So when I came back, then the Minister of Transport and Communication was Honorable Engineer Brian Mushimba. I stood up on the floor of the House, and he was also one of those who pushed so hard for the SI that trucks and buses should not be moving at night.
Okay. I remember that.
You remember?
I remember that,
yes.
yes.
So, and because I always care about a life. One life lost in our country is a loss to the nation. We never know. Maybe that's the future president or somebody who would develop some software or something.
Yeah.
So then Cabinet Affairs, can I remember? You caught me in way. But because Cabinet Affairs was the first ever committee that was set in the 12th session. It came as a new committee, and since it offers oversights with on the government governance, the executive, yes. So I remember with Cabinet Affairs, some of the SIs that were done, and some of the can I recall? I think I've forgotten.
No, that's fine. That's fine. At least
But I know I've contributed perfectly well, and I've seen the impact, especially Cabinet Affairs and Transport and Communication.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's pivot to government performance. So right after 2021, you made a parliamentary statement and you warned, and I quote, "I would like to advise the new Dawn administration under His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema to fulfill their promises, or else," with your finger like this, "or else the people of Chiengi will not hesitate to vote them out in 2026. And then come October 2025, there was a declaration, and you said, in this declaration, you called out the high cost of living, youth unemployment, national debt, challenges with the kwacha, power shortages, yes, corruption, and the broken public service delivery, and the farmer neglect, among many more. My question is, 5 years in, how do you score the UPND on this? Their wins and their misses.
Okay. I'll start with their wins.
Yes.
There's only one win that I'll always clap for them, and that would be the free education, because that helped a lot of young people to get back into school. However, that free education, I was hoping that it would be extended even to tertiary education, and it would be extended also to private colleges or universities, because that's why we're having a challenge with the young people, to get into these universities, because all those kids who go to private schools, whether they're in the township or in the Mayadi, they are all Zambians.
Yes.
Now, this free education, it's just for those who go to government schools. It's not that every parent would want a child to go to, would want to have a child in private school, but it's because there are no spaces in government schools. So because of that, I think they missed it. They should have planned on how to help those kids who are unable to get into government institution. How would the government take care of them? Because they're all Zambians.
Yes.
Yeah. Then I think when we talk of the economy, if you look at our economy, I see it on the paper is doing very, very well. But marrying what is on the paper and the high cost of living in our country is contradicting. There's so much of contradiction there. So I think on that one, they've missed that. Yeah, it looks like to them when they say they've scored is for the elite. This government of UPND has not put the vulnerable first. If you look at our population, the majority or the biggest number of the population are people who are poor, who are unable to meet their daily needs, so to say. So they should have had a policy that would have just focused on how to improve first the lives of, or reducing the number, at least reducing this number by a certain percentage of the poor in our country. Because if you look at even the statistics, you find that out of the population we have, according to what I know, something like 76% or 64%, somewhere there are people who are poor. So on that one, they've not done well. And then when it comes to justice, they've done badly. Their justice is selective. When you talk of the promises that they promised us, that no one will be detained without proper investigations, they've done badly. And what they promise of cadreism will not be there. And now when you see, it's even worse than PF. Cadres now, their cadres even have guns. I saw it on social media, a UPND cadre with a gun. I think that is in Kitwe. And I'm thinking, wow. And up to now, he has not been arrested. And so that, and then the issue of the promises that they promised, if you look at the farmers, as we're speaking, farmers from Chienge are still in Inchelenge, and some had to travel 90 kilometers to go to Inchelenge to get paid, and they've not been paid. And now imagine poor people, they have nowhere to sleep, they cannot afford even a lodge, and they're sleeping outside NatSave waiting to get paid. And they, for decentralization, they're trying to decentralize. It was a good idea they came with the decentralization, but they've not implemented it in the way that it's supposed to be. They say it's decentralized, but they get a DC and incorporate in the CDF. That's not decentralization. A DC is the eyes of the executive. Decentralization, you're trying to make an institution to be totally independent from the central government system. But where you start incorporating these and you ask you have to, if you look at the people sitting on CDF now, the number is ballooned, and the use of CDF, they introduced CDF, which I thought it will be meant to deliver services closer to the people. But instead, they give a portion of this grants, which is just money being wasted. Because imagine you get water and you go and put in Kariba Dam, so you want to make Zikoro. You know Zikoro?
Yes, I do.
Sugar solution,
Yes, I do.
drink. it will not happen. You add, and you will never get the sugar solution. So they got the CDF. They thought that's the way of empowering the so-called Zambians, and yet it was for cadres. They gave those grants. Those people they give grants, they've never given them training. Financial literacy is very important. It's a reason when people ask me about what are you going to do for Zambians, they say education, because it's this in education where we incorporate everything.
Yes.
You cannot separate education from development. No matter how you want to bring development, no education, you're wasting your time.
Yes.
That's why I was talking about those who are not educated. Use the political, let them be educated politically so that they understand all these things. Then financial literacy. They give those grants. They even fight. With me, I just withdrew from CDF. I just watched. They bring cadres. Cadres have formed cooperatives. They give them. Do you know that some even share the money? If the people of Chenga are watching, they'll agree with me. There are some in Lambwe Chomba and somewhere in Lambwe Chikwam. We went there. They said, we share the money. And who's going to hold them accountable? They're cadres.
But they're your people.
Yes.
You are their member of parliament.
I am the member of parliament. But what is happening now, even to get employed for these censors, what and what, you have to be a cadre of a political party, which is in government. It used to happen in PF, and it's also happening in UPN. I'm telling you, I'm not bad-mouthing this government. This is the West government. I had so much hopes that, we will be now a developed country. Will be civilized, will do things, with civility. Oh my God. They, even to commission a CDF project, the DC will come, a deputy PS, they are fighting, the area member of parliament should not be seen there. And I'm thinking, oh Jesus, is this what we've done to ourselves? Because you cannot commission a government project. See that the so-called provincial minister should be there or what? Wasting resources. And when they come, in Chieng, they just go in one place where there's this water scheme, they commission. They're not going through all the projects. There they want to campaign. They do that. They go to another place. Then they are tired. They leave. They say all other projects have been commissioned. Okay. These guys are playing. Because, we are, after 61 years of independence, we cannot be playing like this. Our country looks like like a marabo. There's no one to clean it.
All right. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so as per your warning, there will be a lot of challenges for the UPND this 2026 in Chiengi. All right. I want to look at the 2026 election outlook. Your December 2025 social media take slammed selfish interests in the opposition as divisions rage and UPND holds on to power. What's the real state of the opposition unity and how will it shake up 2026?
I want to say this. In every family, there will be one elder brother or sister, even if that elder brother is a third born or second born, people will be looking up to in the family.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
In the opposition, as it now, we have what we used to call maybe big brother was PF or big sister PF. And this is a political party. Let me say this today. I'm so ashamed of, who can never listen to the advice and who like to twist things. Okay? You're advising them for the benefit of the democracy or for the survival of democracy in our country and the benefit of the people of Zambia. But I've noticed that these guys is all about them. Because it was supposed to be their duty as the so-called main opposition party, even if their party has been taken away from them, reorganize themselves, not fighting amongst themselves. Say, look, guys, this is the route we're taking. Even if we don't have a party, then they call others. Look, we have the structures.
Yes.
And for the sake of Zambians who do not agree with the current leadership, let's take this road. I'll tell you what made me even to say, let me go and stand. I'll just hear, no, there's an injunction, Tonse. No, Tonse has broken down. I just told myself that night, I said, we cannot sit back and count on the elder brothers or elder sisters who are not seeing what we're seeing. So, looking at what is happening right now in our country, the opposition have to unite, and the one who has the key is the former ruling party. Now, the former ruling party is in disarray.
Yes.
And they're so rude. I thought since they were kicked out of the government, those habits of cadarism, maybe they've learned the hard way. There was a video that I did encouraging them to fight for their brothers who are in jail.
Yes.
You know the insults, and I know. And one prominent person was once an ambassador. Organizes people, and those small girls in the so-called diaspora who were insulting their leader, they so rest in peace. Those who were in forefront to insult ECL, that's where they've gone. They think those girls are a solution, who are not even. They are non-entities in the on a political stage.
Yeah.
But because they can insult people, they can belittle people. They say this is the way to go. PF, the first thing was supposed to do was to do repentance and house cleansing. They become born again. And people see that they're born again. And they say, whosoever is insulting us, we're not part of it. And this gathering, that video exposed them, the video I did, that they just went into hibernation. Now they've shown that, and I'll repeat this.
Yes, please.
They've shown true colors. That they're not worth coming back. If you cannot change, imagine a man who divorces a wife, and then she goes and she begs him, no, I'll come back. And this particular ex-wife used to beat the mother-in-law. And then you say, okay, as a husband, say, okay, I've forgiven. Before she even comes back, when you're contemplating as a man to bring her back, she starts insulting your relatives. Just know that now she's gotten even worse. She's bitter. So we have a big problem
In the opposition.
Because most of those who have the 73 political parties minus UPND, we're saying 72 political parties.
Yes.
The only political party that had big following or large following was PF. Now that it is in disarray, they are supposed to go and talk nicely to other political parties. See what they did. I want to emphasize on this. Listen to me, Mwiko.
Yes.
When they won Chawama, some of us, we never slept that night. I was praying. I'm a reverend.
Yes.
I was praying. God, give us a sign. I prayed the whole night, and people saw me even going live when they won around 004. I prayed. Do you know how grateful these guys are? When the PF leader wrote a statement about their win in Chawama, they never even recognized FDD. I said, hey, this morning when my husband was trying to talk to me about Kasama, I said, hey, I'm happy. He knew that. And I told myself, they should not win Kasama. Do you know why? They've not shown true leadership. They should have come to the nation, first thing first. thank FDD for riding just on that ticket. Thank FDD to show leadership that they changed. They're no longer pompous. So they were supposed to thank FDD and to thank those who went to, but they thanked PF, which was in the hands of Chavinga.
Oh my God. Or as they say, oh my days. Let's do this. Let's make it a bit spicy. Harry Kalaba. Given Luvinda. Chavinga. Makebi Zulu. Brian Munduvile. Fred Membe. These gentlemen, some of them call themselves honorable gentlemen, but I don't. The only honorable person here is Chavinga because he's in parliament. The rest are not. They are not in parliament, so they shall not be dignified by being called honorable members. And that's just the truth. That's just the law.
We've abused that title. I've seen even councillors, they call themselves honorables. And I'm thinking, okay.
Yes, I found one in Shiboyonji delaying my meeting. I said, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for the honorable. I said, which honorable? Our councillor. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. But these gentlemen have given you. What makes you, in your opinion, as an aspiring presidential candidate, what makes you think any of these gentlemen are worthy of competition?
Oh, you cannot ask me that what makes you think that they're worthy. If they've sized themselves and they've gauge themselves that they can, let them go for it. I'm not the one to judge them. It's the people of Zambia who are looking for for good leadership.
Okay. You are being very coy in explaining. I'm going to ask you another trick question here.
Yes.
One of the reasons the PF is in this mess is because the reins of power were left to Given Luvinda when the late President Edgar Lungu, died. Don't you think the problem started because of lack of strength in leadership from the acting president?
Well, I'll say this. A leader is not the alpha and omega of wisdom. It's the people surround leadership. You can have a weak leader, but those who are surrounding the leader should be able to help the leader, unless this leader in particular is not a listening leader, then can make a very bad leader. So whatever happened in PF, I cannot really speak for them because, most. Oh, now I'm speaking part of South African language. I've never been PF.
No.
Yes. I've never been PF, and what was happening from within, I cannot really maybe talk about that. But from the outside, I can only say PF is where it is now because of selfishness of the leaders. Don't tell me when Honorable Mao Sampa was doing that, some leaders were not aware. Because if it was so, I've seen it's back in the circles of their leadership. So I don't want to be talking about PF, especially that there are people who like to insult. I've seen someone here saying, talk about yourself. These are let me say this, Mwiko. I get so sad to see that after 61 years, we have people who are doing uncivilized politics of insults. May God grant me this seat of being a president. Just for insults, I'll be locking them up. Why would you insult? Why can't you talk? You can criticize. No one will lock you up for criticizing. But why would you insult somebody?
Agreed. Let's pivot to what you said, as reported by the Zambian Monitor. You put it blatantly last year in October. The political party system is broken.
It's broken, yes.
It has become a place of betrayal, confusion, and corruption. Zambia needs a fresh, fearless, and people-powered presidency.
Exactly.
With folks fed up with parties, are you tempted to form or join one or sticking to the independent powerhouse that you are?
Let me tell you something. After 61 years, we want to introduce something new.
Okay.
Not the new that they talk about. We want to introduce something new that is possible to have an independent president, a parliament full of independent MPs. At local government level, we can have independent council chairpersons and also councillors. People have always been talking about having members of parliament or the president who has a political party. We are where we are today as a nation because of the members of parliament who follow what their political party tells them to do. For example, we said Bill 7 is not a good bill.
Yes.
But even some of the members of UPND, they agreed. But they are scared of not being adopted for 2026. They had to do a wrong thing. In other words, the political system, party system, is all about the political party, not the Zambians. Even the time of PF, it was the same thing. UPND, as I've been saying, is worse. Some members of UPND, you cannot even talk to them like this. They're scared. If they're seen, they might not be adopted.
Is that bad?
I'm telling you, you can't call a member of parliament under UPND direct call. They're scared. Why were you talking to this woman? Even in parliament, you see me, I can only talk to ministers. But those, they are juniors. It's hectic for them. The system, the political system is totally broken. Nothing that is happening in UPND to help development of the nation. It's all about to help the executive to achieve not the interests of the Zambians, but what the executive wants. Presidency should be people-driven, not political party-driven. You understand? So even to get elected, to get nominated, we've seen that people pay. There's that nomination fee they pay towards a political party.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if there is corruption, I was hoping that that's where SEC should be. That should be the playing field for SEC, is in these political parties. Most of them, to get adopted, they pay heavily. Apart from the money that they pay to their political party, they have to pay this one and this one and this one. It's a reason I cannot go into a political party. I don't want to be contaminated.
You'll be able to resist and then not be adopted.
Yes. Okay. Not only that, and just to be contaminated with what is happening. Like I've said,
yes,
it's all about political party. Even when a private member's motion, which is meant to help Zambians, it will be shot down because it was not brought by a member of parliament from UPND. And then what kind of thinking is this? We need to change. If we have the majority of independent members of parliament,
yes,
they'll oppose whatever they'll be doing there. They'll be doing for the people who sent them there, and they'll make sure that the president or the executive will not have a hand to control parliament.
Interesting. We're going to take a short water break, and coming up after the break, Honorable Katuta will reveal what drove her, apart from the little snippet she's given us, what drove her really to to be inspired rather, to bid for presidency, and who she consulted. And obviously she's going to tell us what she'll do in the first 100 days. We'll be right back after a very, very short break.
Please be advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Capital FM. Pleasant listening.
Experience entertainment like never before at Levy Cinemas. Located conveniently downtown, Levy Cinemas is your one-stop destination for movies, relaxation, and fun. Step into our state-of-the-art theaters and indulge in the latest blockbusters in stunning clarity and sound. But that's not all. Levy Cinemas offers more than just movies. Visit our exclusive lounge area where you can unwind before or after the show. Enjoy a wide selection of drinks and snacks in a comfortable and stylish environment. And for those looking to challenge their friends, check out our pool tables right here at the cinemas. Whether you are a novice or a pro, our tables are ready for a friendly game while you wait. Make your movie night more than just a movie night. Make it an experience. Levy Cinemas, where entertainment meets relaxation. Visit us today at Levy Mall, or you can visit our website www.levycinemas.com and see why we are more than just a cinema. Levy Cinemas, movies, lounge, pool table, everything you need for the perfect night out.
Whenever you listen to the radio, it's supposed to give you the heartbeat of the nation. This is what Capital FM does through its interactive programs. We talk to each other to present a balanced position. Capital FM, the talk leader.
Welcome back to The Big Issue with me, Chanda Mwiko. My guest is the Honorable Member of Parliament for Chiengi constituency, Honorable Given Katuta, and we're discussing national issues and her bid for presidency for the 2026 general elections. To follow the show, to participate, please call 0761 997 997 or 077-379-2475. For your comments, questions, and your opinions, please follow us on Facebook. We are at Capital FM 997. You can follow us on Smart Eagles. We are also on Citizens TV Zambia. We are also on Kumwesu and Spectrum Media TV. Honorable Katuta, in your October 2025 declaration, as reported by YouTube and the Zambian Monitor, you flagged limited freedom of expression, gender exclusion. Women in Zambia remain spectators and punished and pushed for national unity, constitutionalism, and responsible leadership. This was also reported in November 2025. There are problems amid the Kwacha wars and the blackouts. I would like you to speak about the real push behind and what gives you the gravitas to stand for presidency, because a lot of ladies in the past, a few have stood for this and they never got support, especially from the women folk. Who have you consulted and why are you convinced that you can make it?
Thank you so much. I'll say this, in everything, you have to take a step. You cannot succeed when you just sit back and talk. So the people that I've consulted are the people who are concerned with what is happening. And I discovered that a lot of people have been hurting, but they didn't know who to talk to. I spoke to some individuals who agreed with me that we've had some women who have attempted to stand.
Yes.
Like, may I so rest in peace, Madam Gwendolini.
Yes, Madam Gwendolyn
Connie, yes. And President Edith Nawakwe.
Yes.
And in the last election, I think we had Madam President Shalakatika. Yes. So, and they encouraged me. They said, I think we want to try a woman. Should it fail, we'll still continue pushing.
Okay.
And what really inspired me was that I also noticed that among the men, it has always been the ego. They always they don't want their ego to be bruised, and if they don't want their ego to be bruised, and then it's like it just has to be It just has to be me, 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 me. Okay? It just has to be me, 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 me. But with a woman, we do understand. And we don't believe in like taking it too personal, where you have to take a group of young men and another group of young men go and kill each other so that I can get this position.
Yes.
So I looked at Ellen Sirleaf Johnson of Liberia, a country which was torn apart because of war. Men were fighting. But when she came, she got all the so-called rebel leaders and made them vice presidents. And up to date, they've been having democratic elections. So I looked at that and I said, it's possible, looking at the division that we're currently facing in our country. We cannot pretend that our country is divided. And I said, it's better we come together once again and we enjoy the true meaning of one Zambia, one nation. And this can only happen, if we look at the book of Psalm 133. It talks about where brothers live in oneness, in harmony. That's where God, bestows the blessings. We've seen the current government has tried so hard, the previous government tried so hard, but as long as you are not in oneness, you cannot succeed because you're pulling in different directions, in opposite directions.
Yes.
So this inspired me to say, I can bring up change. We can have one thing in common, and that will be one Zambia, one nation. We can love each other, where we'll not look at someone and say, are you Lozi? Oh, you are Bemba. Oh, you are this. If somebody say Bemba, it's, oh, Kimunyuku. Oh, this one. We don't need that. We don't need that. Because if it was so, our founding fathers of this nation were not going to succeed. But where we are, the political party system has contributed so much to this division we're seeing in our country. It's a reason I'm saying, standing as an independent, I will not be able to say, I'm from Luapula, I will only support people from Luapula. No, or these belong to me. They'll be independent. Even the MPs will be independent. So if I'm independent, who am I going to influence? Using my tribe? It cannot happen. It cannot work. So we want to say that we need to be restored back to what we are supposed to be as a nation. How can we do that? First, we need to come together. If we come together, there's no other side which is crying to be discriminated against, or there's no other side which feels like I'm being looked down upon by the other side.
Yes.
Then we can do something that can lead us to develop our nation. But as long as the other side is crying, the other side is enjoying, things don't work like that in life. Just like in a home, when the other side is crying, the other side feels all is well. Things don't work out. So we're looking at restoration of our country. And the only way it can be restored back to one Zambia, one nation is for us to unite. And the unit we are talking about is not the unit of lip service. We truly mean it, and we make sure that this comes to pass. We cannot have areas where we say this is a stronghold of a political party. For an independent, we will not have a stronghold. You understand? But we have now this. There was a southern province. It's a stronghold for UPND. No one can go there. And then somebody even put on Facebook showing a southern part of the country red, the northern part of the country green. I said, can this happen after 2026? You know why I asked that question? We don't have to live like that. Where is showing red, one dots of blue, yellow and white. Where is showing green, one dots of red and what. Then that's the real Zambia that we're looking at.
All right.
Yeah.
Once again, to participate on the show through WhatsApp or direct calls, please call 0761 997 997 and 077 379 2475. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Chiengi is ready to take your questions and explain much more than much more on her aspiration as a candidate for the presidency. In October last year, you highlighted youth unemployment, farmer neglect, corruption, plus a breakdown in service delivery. We've touched on this before. But I'd like you to focus on what would your first 100 days be like as president in terms of fixing this?
I always laugh when I see the first 100 days in the office, I'm going to do this. Let me say this. You're not God.
Mm-hmm.
You can plan. But has God agreed to your plans? So I want to say this.
Yes, please.
The only thing that can be done in 90 days, because you're talking of 100 days, in 3 months' time.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 months' time, you cannot... in 3 months' time, you cannot stabilize the kwacha. Okay? You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yes. And again, in that 3 months' time, you cannot change the economy. But the first thing that I would do is this. When I get to the office.
Yes, please. When you get to plot 1.
To plot 1, yes. When I get to plot 1, the first thing that I'm going to do is this. I will first constitute a team. When I constitute that team, it's not the cabinet. It will be a team it will be advisory team. Advisory team,
yes,
on education, economy, and other departments. And the second thing will be, can you create a school for the president to go and learn? At least the first 1 month, the president has to learn governance.
Mm-hmm.
The first 1 month, because looking at the time you are sworn in, the time that you are sworn in, I'm coming from a political party, and what I was fighting for was to get into I'm coming as an independent. So, do I understand the governance of the system, the governance system?
Mm-hmm.
Do I really know? Or how do I improve our economy in the so-called, not 3 months you're talking about, the 100 days?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask for that school immediately so that I can be trained, and that should even go to parliament, that this should be a law. Mm-hmm. Once the members of parliament are sworn in, that this should be a law, that every sitting elected president, before he takes an oath, he must be trained. Because in that training, there will be international relations.
Mm-hmm.
How do you run the nation without this discrimination? You know, I'll be running a nation of people who are Christians, mm-hmm. Muslims, Buddhists, mm-hmm. and atheists, and whatsoever. Mm-hmm. As a Christian, how am I going to embrace all of these? Because I'm a Christian. So that school will be created immediately, which will also include whosoever will be in the line to be appointed as a minister to go for that school. Mm-hmm. They will not take offices. After all, we have PSs who will still be running the ministries. Every minister should go and learn, not a one-day workshop. It's the reason we have all these where we are today, because these ministers, they are cadres.
Mm-hmm.
They are cadres who are appointed. And when they go there, that mentality of cadreism, or being a cadre, or people think being a cadre is those who make noise or no. It means you are a follower of a certain belief.
Yes, please.
So when they go there, I will not allow them to run things like when we were campaigning because we wanted to get there. I want them to run ministries with the interests of the Zambians first.
Okay.
But they can only do that by understanding the role of a minister, not to go in there and be a cadre to promote the interests of the president.
Okay.
And you've asked me, you want to cut me, you asked me how the first...
I'm listening to the first future.
Yes.
The first future lady president.
Thank you. Then, I've only spoken about 2 things, right?
Yes.
The third one, every government I've seen comes with own thing, with a bang, okay? Our current government came with a bang of arresting opponents who were believed to be offenders.
Yes.
PF came with a bang of infrastructure. I'm coming with a bang of putting up hospitals. We need to have a new university teaching hospital, not only in Lusaka, even in Ndola. The central hospital we have, we need to come up with university training hospitals whereby we don't have to be sending the ministers also ever outside the country. If Minor Soko was built in less than 7 years, what would stop us to do that when we come in 5 years? Then the other thing, I have to sit down and now look at the land and how our people can access our land cheaply. And also to make sure that the lease for the land should not be the same years with the Zambians. For the foreigners, it will be different. The land of Zambia belongs to the Zambians.
Yes.
And how will the Zambians benefit from their land? Where you are, Mwiko, you cannot buy land. It will be very expensive for you. How will Zambians access? Those, I can do that within the 100 days because it's the paper that I'm preparing, it's a document. Okay. And also to make an announcement. Then fourthly, we will talk about the mines. You cannot talk about the land without talking about the mines. Yeah. It's the first thing that we're going to do is to repeal the SIs that have been given to these miners and also to repeal the taxes, whatever that have been given to the free taxes that have been given to these mines. We are going to do that before even 90 days. Because it's about time Zambia started participating in owning shares in all these big mines. Then the other thing, people like to talk about load shedding, and which I know you spoke about.
Yes.
The load shedding, in order for us to end this load shedding, we need to call upon all the technicians and engineers. How can we start developing our own power, not these solars? Because these solars in the future, we're going to have a problem of disposing of these panels.
Yes. Understood. Your presidential declaration last year went as follows. If we want to change Zambia, women must rise, not just to clap at rallies,
yes,
but to lead from the front. To the youth, stop waiting for leaders, become the leaders. What's your heartfelt message today to our young people, women, and marginalized voices?
The word I have for the women is that time has come for them, and they can lead. And indeed, to be abused by politicians and to be abused by the politicians,
yes,
should come to an end. Imagine you always go to watch Ntamba Mweru, which used to be my football club, with Mwai Mwena. You always just watch. You castigate, you are screaming, and you go back home disappointed. But whichever team wins, walks away with money or with the trophy, they're the ones to enjoy. Does it make sense? It doesn't. So to kuliba namayo, naba ichibonse, imisepela. This is your time. This is your time to be incorporated in the governance of this nation. Filefia kwewa chiyoba namayo, kwewa feku marketi, o shani, na fipwa. And if you kuperwa pa silver platter, you know, iwaletere kwa chiyo 40 women, is it 20 women? Just to go and sit there. Those women will be guarded. They will not say anything against the government. They have to pay allegiance to whosoever is going to appoint them to go to parliament. Yes. We want women who can speak for their children, because whenever there's a problem, it's women who suffer, and the youths. The youths have been sidelined in our country. They were promised by UPND government when they were in opposition that the youths would be employed, this and that. They were even going at 2 a.m. Nama gowns, what and what. And when it came to appointments of ambassadors, give me the name of the youngest ambassador from Zambia. None. None. Give me the youngest person in give me the youngest person in
Botswana.
No, not in Botswana. In Zambia, the youngest minister, a young man or a young lady say akakena akakamsepela for sure. Akali not himsepela tremona 40 years and above indiseba you fee no. Anyone below 35 who is in the government of today, who is that person?
Okay.
But they will use them as, to make noise. Come now, we've signed the Bill 7 and they'll be promised you'll be taken to Parliament. To do what? To go and clap again? No. Go to Parliament.
Bill 7 usually involves labor relations.
We want you to go to Parliament and speak for the people, not for the person who appointed you. That's not a political party. So I want the youths to wake up and to realize that they can do better than only being vuvuzelas, for others. Can you imagine? They say, I've seen they have this Ichaba. And how many youths are following that? There are very few. But they're still following where they've been promised where they've been promised small things. That when we have this Bill 7, all of you'll be in Parliament.
Yeah.
But the truth is that not all of them will be in Parliament. Only the cadres of the ruling party then will be in Parliament. And those who dance will be left out. That's what I was saying. You can't go to a stadium every day cheering others, then you go back home tired with nothing.
I understand.
Yeah.
As we wind down, there's something that the PF government and the current government have not really looked into. It was a matter of concern some time back, and this is a matter of lifestyle audits. We saw in the last government how ministers, government officials suddenly amassed wealth without any proven track record of a mortgage, a loan of sorts, businesses which are making serious money and getting contracts through proxies in government. How do you intend as president to sort out this issue? Will you bring about mandatory life audits for government officials and ministers?
In fact, I'll say this, Mwiko. It shouldn't just be only government ministers. Do you know that there's been so much of money laundering in our country? If you read the FIC,
yes,
you can see something is wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. We can focus on politicians only. Are they the real culprits in the whole thing? No. The real culprits are there. That lifestyle audit should be on all those who are running businesses or those who are seemingly to be doing well. If you own a business, we have to know how your money is coming in and like your income, your revenue. Is your revenue of this radio station matching with the lifestyle that you have? No. If you're a lawyer, the kind of cases that you've won or the work that you've done, is it matching with your lifestyle? Do you have any other business that you're doing? No. We have to do the lifestyle audit on every seemingly well-doing Zambian, so that not only Zambian or business person, so that we curb this thing of money laundering or whatever. The challenge we have when we talk about lifestyle audit, we only focus on an MP, a minister, maybe a ward councillor, if there's anything like that.
Because we saw them before they got into government, and we saw the collaborations seemingly reported in the media of how this person was just an average human being, and next thing they are doing so well because they're in government, or they are, the ruling party or the party that's in control of certain things.
Yes, that is happening. It's not only in PF, even in UPND. We've seen some people from nowhere, they own mines in Mkoshi. We've seen that. That's why I'm saying you cannot only focus on ministers, because I think you spoke about ministers. Speak about party officials as well. All party officials should be subjected to lifestyle auditing, and which we're going to do. And they should not feel like, no, we're being persecuted. No, we'll follow them and ask them, Bwana, twale mimonafe pali onda. Manje muri 5 years mwafuma poing chaba shani mwakwata shani myotoka maoteo ama maini chiri shani. We'll do that. Yeah.
All right. Let me have your final thoughts on the 2026 the prospects for 2026 and the future regarding Chiengi.
Well, Chiengi, I think, Mwiko, you've forgotten that I'm standing for presidency. I'm not going there as an MP anymore. I've handed over to another young man, a youth. So it's entirely up to him, because they were saying, oh, you don't like my youth. So I got a youth, a real youth, not 40 years, then you call yourself youth. And I hear he's doing well on the ground. He's there. And I handed over even all the structures I had for the past 10 years. It's entirely up to him to make it or to fail. Yeah. So my dream for change is to see that when I'm the president of this country, after elections, that we get the road that we've been crying for.
Yes.
We need that road. And also to improve also water reticulation in Chiengi. There's nothing to talk about when we talk about that. Health sector also in Chiengi. We are really lagging behind. Power is even worse. Should I say the entire Luapula, we are in low voltage. So we cannot have industries there. So it's something that I've been thinking through, if we can use waters which we're not sharing with any country to come up with a hydro station power. So I'm looking forward to get support from men and women of this country to say, let's see that if this woman can come and make the 5,000 millionaires she's talking about, because as it is now in our country, we don't have Zambians who are millionaires. We don't have Zambians who are millionaires. So I look at it like if we go towards these elections, let people try to listen to what I'm saying. I'm not just talking. I have a vision for this nation. I have a vision for this nation. You cannot have all the minerals and you are the second largest copper producer and you have poor people like I see in our country. It's painful. So 2026, it has to not about political party. And I want to appeal to the Zambians who belong to political parties that they should not vote for political party because they belong to those political parties. They will make a very big mistake. We'll be going back to what we are seeing today, where after 61 years we can't see much. And yet we are saying we are the second largest copper producer in the world. So I pray that the current regime will honor its word. The president was talking about having free and fair elections, and there will be no violence. But Kasama has spoken already that we should brace ourselves for August, but Zambians should just stay away from violence, so that we don't. It's not necessary, but we pray that Zambians will make a good decision.
Honorable Given Katuta, thank you for joining us today on The Big Issue and sharing your invaluable insights. It has been an honor to host you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here, and thank you, listeners.
Tune in next week for another compelling edition of The Big Issue featuring leading Zambian voices. Until then, stay informed, engaged, and listen to Capital FM. The Big Issue is out.